Morning all, welcome to Scott Rods and my Hemi engine repair, hopefully. Right, some of you have said, Dave, it's time to or get off the pot. Well, my friends, today I'm going to take a great big steaming If you're new to this adventure, I've already removed my water pump, oil pump, basically everything off the front of the engine because I was hoping it was just the timing chain, but I've discovered damage in the engine. So I'm going to take the heads off and just see how bad and catastrophic it is and see if it's repairable or if it's going to need a new engine. Let us begin. I'm going to start by removing a couple of things that I should have done right at the start of this project, and that would be this stomach stabber here and my radiator, which I managed to damage in removing my timing cover and all that. Don't ask me how I did that. Anyway, I've got a new radiator in the dining room in a box waiting, so I don't mind if I damage this further. I'm not going to take a chainsaw to it, but I removed the radiator, removed the stabber. Right, hood catch, I believe is 10mm. This job's hard enough without having to do everything manually, right? All those annoying red catches on it. This little doodad here. Need to push that clip back and then squeeze the back end. No, squeeze that tab there. Comes out. Oh, yay! No more stabbing of the stomach. Right, next. Right, I'm going to try not to leave all my tools in the engine bay. These screws that I took out, put them back in. No point in having a pile of nuts and bolts. You don't even have to mark them and put them in bags if you do this. Okay, radiator. So it looks like the radiator is held on with a couple of 13mm bolts. One is in there, same on the other side. And then, as I say, it looks like it sits in those sort of rubber bushings at the bottom. I do need to remove this and a couple of clips that hold the, the air conditioning pipes in place. I don't want to remove the actual pipes and evac the system because the AC was still working, and I don't want to. If I have to remove these pipes at a later date, fair enough, but at the moment I don't. So I do need to remove the bracket that's holding them on. It looks like a little 10mm. I mean, it looks like a 10mm, but Mr. 10mm's not going on. That's bizarre. Maybe it's a 12. Or 11 maybe. This is really strange because so far everything's been 10s, 13s and upwards. Well, I think it was a 10, it's just a bit rusty. Yeah, I put the 11mm socket on, kind of cleaned it up a bit. Oh, this is going to break. But I don't care because the new radiator has that section attached, so if it breaks it just makes it faster to get off. not quite sure why this bit is quite so rusty. Yeah, I'll be finding a new bolt for this. Yeah, so that broke off, which is wonderful because that should now just come out with a bit of precision. It's weird, that's the first rusted bolt I've found in this vehicle. Okay, so the two 13mm should be all that's left holding it in. Okay, the AC radiator is actually bolted to the coolant radiator. So as I say, the AC radiator is bolted to the normal radiator there and in there. And then on this side there is a tab up here, which presumably it just pulls out. Why? And there's another tab down there which looks almost impossible to get to, but if I have to smash it off, I'll smash it off. And of course, access is limited, as always. Just to mix things up a bit, they've decided to use 12mm bolts on these brackets that hold the AC to the water radiator, okay? Because, you know, why not? They really don't want you to fix your own truck, do they? Sounds like I might be losing another bolt. And to get some WD-40 in there. Probably make more sense if I just move this, right? Oh, I've still got to take that broken bolt out. So this is my window squisher reservoir. That's not too tight, makes a change. That bolt's gone forever. Looks like it just lifts up. Mystery bolt down the bottom. You'll need this configuration to get it. Tiny little extension, what's that, about an inch and a bit? Okay, so now it should just lift up. Awesome. So now we have full access to that bolt and that bolt. Remind me to always make sure that I've taken stuff out the way first, because that makes life so much easier. What size did they say they were? 12? This is going to snap. snappage. Again, it's snapped in the old rad, so I don't care. Unless, of course, I'm supposed to reuse the things it screws into. Hope not. Well, I actually got one out. Don't think I'll be reusing it though. So we should be good now to be able to take the radiator out, if I can work out those tabs at the other side. I found another mystery bolt. If you look in here, that little bolt is holding your AC pipes to the radiator itself, so that needs to come off, and hopefully that's all the bolts I need to remove, and then it will just be a case of working out those tabs. 10mm again. And another snap. Don't know what it is with these little bolts that keep wanting to snap. That wasn't even a lot of force. Anyway. Houston, we have a problem. If I can't tap that bolt out that I just snapped, then I'm going to have to remove the AC pipes, because the bolt is actually going through the bracket from the other side. Great. It's always the small stuff that slows you down. Right, you see that in there? That's where that bolt snapped. Unfortunately, it is threaded through to the other side, so merely hitting that bolt is doing nothing. I wonder if I can lever it this way, but I'm not hopeful. I'll try levering it this way, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to drill that screw out. Honestly, I don't want to remove these pipes. Well, I can't legally. Right, drill time. There we go, that was easy. Not. So once I got those pesky brackets out of the way, the AC radiator did just slide out of those tabs. They weren't clipped in. So hopefully we should be good for extraction. Oh, or maybe not a pain at all. There we go. Let me show you what all the fuss was about. In a previous video, I used my impact wrench to remove the crank bolt, and it just went back a bit too far. Squish, burst. New radiator, please. And yes, you could have repaired that, but you know what? It costs the same just to get a new one. So that one's 11 years old. Why not upgrade? Let's see what's next then, guys. A little bit more space with the rad out. I think what I'll probably do, I need to jack the truck up to get into the exhaust bolts anyway, and also to remove the sump, or at least loosen the sump enough to get in and clean it out. But I will probably be gaining access by standing in that hole. We'll see. I think that's probably the easiest option rather than reaching a way over. Give you some perspective of how far back this engine is. Bear in mind I'm quite short, so to reach from there over to there, I mean way in there. Pretty far, much easier if I'm standing in there. So I think the first thing I'll do is remove all the wiring and any other pipes and clips, give me a better idea of what I'm doing. So I've got most of the wiring loom out the way, or at least disconnected, and these pipes will move, they're attached to rubber. But there is the fuel pipe I need to detach. That's what I bought that tool for yesterday, but I'm going to have to climb in because there's no way I can reach in there. Too far away from my wee short arms. Hello Mr. Crow. So I'll zoom into that so you can see it. You don't want to see me trying to climb in this, it won't be pretty. Something to hold on to. Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah, I could work up here. Right, here's my little connection. It's got some weird clip over it. I think that's just a fail-safe in case it loses grip. That will prevent it from spraying fuel everywhere. So I need to take that off first. I'm aware that this will be under a little bit of pressure. I've removed the fuel cap, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll probably get a bit of a spurt. Make sure you wear eye protection. Take this clip off first. Okay, that wasn't so bad. And then hopefully clean that tube up a little bit. And my new tool will hopefully do the job. If it goes in. Okay, it does go on. You just got to manipulate it a bit. I'm hoping that I just push that in that way, release the clip and pull it back. I'm actually pushing the tube that way. Okay, it worked. And it did try and spray me in the face, so I cannot stress enough, make sure you get eye protection on, okay? Yay, tool worked. And honestly, there's no way you would have got that out without one of these tools. And for me, that was the cheapest option. $8.99 at Canadian Tire, plus tax, about $10. Okay, time to get more tools and get the intake off. Let me climb out of here. So, from what I've seen on other YouTube videos, there's 5 8mm bolts at either side of the intake holding it on. And they say, yeah, just let them off and it'll come off. However, I actually started doing that, then I realised the fuel rails need to come off first. Because the fuel rails are in the block, they're not actually on the intake. Or are they? Anyway, regardless, the fuel rail on the other side is actually over one of the bolts holding the intake in, so I need to take the fuel rail off that side at least. So that is what I need to do. Looks like it's only on with one 10mm bolt at either side. So I'll whip that off. I need to climb inside for all this now. Don't you just hate it when you hit fast forward instead of record? I was actually passing on lots of really useful information on that last section. Right, basically there's a couple of electrical connections at the very back of the intake, which you will not get access to until you've kind of half pulled it out. Terrible. And it's those little plugs with the little red safety tabs, so you got to get round the back and do the claw thing. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do today. Next stage will be removing the rocker covers, the push rod shaft, whatever it's called. Take all the push rods out, and then heads off. Yeah, heads off tomorrow. I need to go and recover. That was quite a lot of twisting and stretching. More exercise I've done in a year. Many years. Right, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.